Hi, Sean Bedlam.
Hi mate, how you
I'm
going?
good.
We already did this, but
We're doing it
we're
again.
going to pretend for you guys.
So, would you call yourself a political comedian?
No, because the kind of politics I am interested in, almost no one else cares about. But yes, because everything I talk about is political.
What aren't people interested in?
Oh, okay. Stuff like out of control, privacy, not privacy, secrecy on the part of government agencies, departments, and what have you. Stuff that's in a way neither sort of left or right politics, and I pretty much switch off when it comes to like. I didn't vote in the most recent election, even though I was volunteering for a political party. So I'm into politics that is of no interest, but to just a small fucking number of people.
Would you say politics / conspiracy?
God, no.
So you would say why do you think you chose that avenue to go down for comedy? Is that the only type of comedy that you do?
No, it's not actually. I'm finding that doing comedy about stuff that's just funny, like, for instance, that I've got a neighbour who's really aggro. And it's true, he continues to be aggro, and he provides me with all sorts of amusement because he's actually scary. There's no political point to it or whatever, though I make sort of some kind of a point in there about men who are angry about their parents. I'm chilling out on the obvious political comedy now because it's not a hell of a lot of fun to do. And I do see some people who do political comedy, and I don't particularly enjoy it.
No.
It just sounds like they're talking to their mates and agreeing, for instance, that, oh, refugees, aren't we nice people for saying the word refugees,
Well, how did you think the audience received the political humour?
Well, it's a funny one. I mean, I tend to play a character, like a version of myself that takes what he's doing and saying like incredibly sort of seriously, but in like a really warped kind of a way. Like, it's like I'm taking myself really seriously, but I also know that I'm fucked in the head, that I'm completely ridiculous, But having said, it's still really intense. It's still a really intense sort of character. The best thing I should do about comedy is not think about it at all because it's weird.
Comedy's weird.
Yeah, I think it is a bit weird. Comedy gets... if you explain how jokes work, they fall apart. And there's this whole sort of industry of comedians talking to each other about how wonderful comedy is and how amazing it is, and getting into all of the sort of become professors of what they're doing, which that's not my idea. I heard a musician saying that.
Okay. About comedy? Or
no, he was talking about music. He goes, if you can be a muso and you become a professor of what you're doing, and you actually start making stuff that it's no longer entertaining, it's just too clever and it's great and everything, but it's like you're like this genius making a little cathedral out of wooden matches, and it's like, well done and everything, but who cares,
Do you think the most successful comedians end up being those political ones? For instance, I suppose Bill Hicks.
No, I really don't. I actually really don't think so. I think the thing is that people like Bill Hicks and George Carlin and et cetera, they have fanatical followings. There are other comedians who are very popular and people love them and will go to all of their shows, but their followers aren't fanatical. They just love. Bill Cosby has never had a fanatical follower. He's possibly one of the greatest comedians, ever, but no one is fanatical about Bill Cosby. He's just amazing and brilliant and the best, and I think he's still going and does 3-hour shows and what have you. But Bill Hicks and people who are angry and I'm not saying Bill Cosby isn't angry, but anyway, they have fanatical followings, so that adds up to a far bigger sort of profile, a sense that they're much huger than they actually are, so that we can get away with talking about what we actually want to talk about. But
So do you think comedy is a good mask to talk about more serious issues or things that are more difficult to talk about?
Yeah, well,
Or does it just make it more fun?
makes it more fun. It's good to have fun.
Do you try to bring parts of your life onto the stage?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I've reached the point where I've put a hell of a lot of thought into stand-up comedy, and now it's like the less thought I put into it, the better.
But what do you think of political correctness?
It's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It is an absolute nightmare. Oh, for a lot of people now, one of the outlets is Twitter. And I wanted to write about these two little old ladies who were holding placards at this picket I was at. And I wrote, two little old ladies holding placards. And then I thought, oh, fuck, I can't write little old ladies because that's offensive. Surely someone's going to have a go at me and go, oh, that is so sexist and ageist and shortist. You're a terrible... And then I just went with little old ladies because, look, fuck that, little old ladies. But this is the thing, political correctness makes you guessing. Oh, can I call this person a fucking cunt? Yeah, maybe it's wrong for this situation, Grandma.
Have you ever had anybody in an audience like start heckling you because of anything you were saying?
No, the only one was when I did a gig that was like a lefty gig, you know. It was a fundraiser for a left newspaper, and I dropped the C-bomb, and afterwards one of the organisers approached me very politely and apologetically, and said, oh, that was great. However, some of the women in the audience, felt uncomfortable with your use of the C word, and,
Do you ever feel bad after a gig?
Yeah, I have. Less and less though, because probably having more and more of an idea of what I'm actually supposed to be doing. But no, I've had plenty of horrible, just horrible. Let's not overdo it. Nights for sure. I did tons of nights at the late night at the Exford because I thought I'll do that. I'm not going to do a show because that's really expensive and. Fuck that, I'm not spending all day flyering. Just don't want to do it, but I'll just do lots of late nights at the Exford, which is just a screeching, you're well aware of that nightmare environment. And I actually had a really good time. Yeah. Except for the last night. The last night was shit.
What happened?
Don't even remember, but I just hated it. I remember I marched out of the building as soon as I did my set and marched straight past a couple of seasoned comics. He just saw my face and both burst out laughing.
What was your face like?
Clearly I was devastated, I'd survived all that long, and then right at the last night just snapped and went, I can't take it, this is horrible. I deserve better. I'm a nice person. Ugh, what a pussy. Jesus Christ. But if you're, obviously no one should do comedy if they're allergic to having bad experiences, that's for sure.
Awesome.
Hooray!
Not hooray. Awesome.